So I'm in my car. I'm at the skate park. It's pretty hot. I just skated a bunch. Had a great time. Taking a little break, and I figured, why not film something? And I was like, well, what am I going to film? I'm not with any friends. How am I going to be engaging? And then I thought to myself, well, what would entertain like one person? Because in reality, when you make a YouTube video, it's not like you're entertaining a crowd of people as much as like one person at a time. Usually it's individuals that watch videos. Though I imagine a world where I'm on a big screen TV and like their whole crew is watching it would be hilarious. Definitely not the case. So what I'm going to do is just tell a really stupid story. I've seen a lot of people out there tell stories. I haven't really tried to tell a story on mine. But I come from a family of storytellers, like during Christmas or any sort of whatever. Everyone was always very good at like getting across their points with little quips and stuff like that. That was always pretty entertaining. And I think from being around that for so long, that's what kind of helped me have a little bit of the gift of gab. I'm not saying that I'm like the best talker ever or anything like that, or even that I'm specifically above average. I just think that sometimes when it comes down to it, I'm pretty good at running my mouth. Anyways, I'm going to tell the story, which has nothing to do with skateboarding. It is completely off par of like the kind of stuff that I do, because it's like such a fucking cringe subject. And it's like something that I would imagine like someone who comes from TikTok and goes to YouTube would try to do. But I'm going to tell it anyways. I accept the fact that I'm a kook. That's fine. Plus, maybe people will watch it. And I think it's a funny story. So anyways, tell the story of the first time that I ever kissed someone. And what's funny about it, like this isn't like the first time I've ever actually kissed someone. Like that, like being like 6 and playing house with, you know, Courtney, wherever you are, doesn't count. That's not a thing. Courtney Gogenauer, I want to say, kind of throwing her under the bus. No, I'm going to tell the story of like the first time that I knew what kissing really was, and I wanted to do it to someone, and they wanted to do it to me, and then we did it to each other, and it was great. And by great, I mean it was awful. The story goes like this. Ocean City, Maryland. You're probably not from Maryland, but if you are, that is basically the closest beach in like kind of like the Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia area. So that's like basically where people will go. But it is like, imagine a white trash community trying to make an Atlantic City without gambling, with even more white trash than Atlantic City has. And that's coming from someone who's thoroughly had a good time every time he went to Atlantic City. Which it is like absolutely the armpit of the United States. But I would argue that Ocean City, Maryland is even grosser. But anyways, you know, I think I'm not positive of my age. I think I was like 11 or so. But like this is coming from a time when, you know, like in school, you know, I was like very quiet. I haven't discovered skateboarding yet, which is really what like drew me out of my shell. So like I had no experience like really like talking to girls other than having like extremely platonic relationships. Also I'm 11, so everything's fucking platonic. I'm just like figuring things out. But anyways, when you go on vacation with your family and you go to like a beach house or whatever it is, whatever your vacation is, that is like the best time to just reinvent yourself to whatever you want to be. And every year from that point forward, from this year forward, that is what I would always do. And so I would go out with my cousin Dominic, and we were just like, dude, we're going to make love to the city. I will be Carrie and my cousin Dominic will be Carrie, because we are both main character type of people in our minds when you go to reinvent yourself. So we go there, and for whatever reason, the level of confidence that we would have on the bus, because you could take like a bus up and down the main street, we would just like, you know, get bus tickets and just ride the bus back and forth and try to talk to girls. Like, I don't even think we spent that much time at the beach, because we both really liked the arcade. And then we would just try to talk to girls on the bus. And there was these 2 girls that we tried to talk to. And, yeah, I don't know. We were just, I don't remember what was said. I just remember that my confidence level was through the roof. And we ended up chatting these girls up, and it ended up being like, I think it was like our second day in. So we had 5 days, a countdown of 5 days. It felt very much like Majora's Mask, where there's like a countdown, and it's just like, okay, I got to get all these things aligned so I can do this thing. Because I was also very shy to make any moves. I had no idea how to make a move, but I did know how to seem charming. This did consist of like us trying to get these girls to just go to the arcade with us. Like they wanted to go to the beach. They wanted to like, there was this, oh, it's the grossest thing ever. Actually, there's a club there called H2O, and this is so fucked up. I don't know if it's open anymore or not, because they kept getting in trouble, but they would have like, it's an under 21 club, and they would have foam night, which is like children covered in foam. It was like the most fucked up shit ever. I have no idea how it lasted as long as it did, or it might even still be lasting. I don't know, but super disgusting. They kept wanting to try to like go there. I think it like had like a 14 and up, 15 and up rule, but like they like knew someone. I don't know, some weird shit. We didn't want to do it. We didn't want anything to do with fucking foam night. And I think we didn't want to go to the beach because my cousin Dominic was like, he had a little bit of weight to him, and me, I started getting acne, which 100% of it just went to my back. Like my face was okay, kind of, but yeah, just hella acne. So we were just avoiding anything like that. As time went on, we talked him to going to the arcade. It was like super classic lame where we're like trying to win like prizes for him and all this shit. And one thing that really stands out to me is the girl that I was talking to, Cassandra. She would like scratch her pants, like she would just go like this until like it would eventually like tear a hole. And then she was like, oh, like, do you want to finish this hole for me? And like, this is gonna sound so stupid, but this was like a thing. Like, I like kept scratching until I get scratched through to her bare skin. But I just remember being like I'm touching her thigh. Like, this is insane. We eventually go back to the hotel that their parents have. And I remember like waiting outside, and this is the last night. And it's just like, I haven't kissed her. And there's been moments where like I could have, but I just didn't know how to do it. Like, for whatever reason, I didn't know how to do this. Like, I didn't know how to move a foot forward. Like, I would just like freeze up like a deer in headlights, and she wasn't going to make the move. So I remember I'm waiting out front, and they had one of the windows open, and I look in there, and it was her friend going to the bathroom. And I remember seeing her friend sitting on the toilet and being disgusted with myself, because I was just like, she's not even the one that I want. She's in like this, her like pants are down. This is awful. I feel disgusting. Do I tell Cassandra? What do I do? I was having this like crazy inner turmoil, the kind of inner turmoil that an anime series would need a 20 episode arc to cover all the spectrum of. Like, I was just going through it for like 10 seconds. I didn't tell Cassandra. I was just too like ripped apart. But because of that, because I had that in my head, I was like extra deer in headlights. Like, that just like, that fucked me up. So we're waiting out front of her hotel. I'm about to go to mine. It's their last day. I know that it's now or never. And she comes out and she's like, okay, like, I guess this is goodbye. And I was like, yeah, I guess this is goodbye. And like, yeah, I couldn't do anything. I was just like, all right. And then like, I just like left. Like, I just like walked away. And I remember like feeling her presence staring me down as I walk away. Like, oh, she's staring me down. And every step that I take is a new played scenario of like, you're gonna turn around and you're just gonna dip her and kiss her. Or like, you know, like any classic romantic pre-Notebook notion that one child can have is just running through my head. Every second is like, I could do this, I should do this, I could do that, I could do that. I could smash in through her window, like all this dumb shit. So eventually I'm just like, I'm too scared to look back though, so I don't. It was a very like, what was it, Moses that wasn't allowed to look back, or like he would die or something like that. It's like the city behind him was being destroyed. I get in the elevator, and as the doors are about to shut, like, she pulled the romantic move where like an arm, like, this is how I remember it. This could be slightly exaggerated, but the arm like, ching, like it like slams on her arm, and the doors open back up. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, I'm so stoked. And she like manhandles me, grabs me by the shirt, and just like stabs her tongue in my mouth. And I say stabs her tongue in my mouth. That thing was like a dart. It was just like, and she did, like, I remember she like stuck it in my mouth and just went like this. And then my mouth was just like kind of wide open, like just like letting her do her thing in my mouth. And then I remember like the kiss ended, and I was just like, man, I didn't kiss at all. I just got like stabbed in the mouth a bunch. And then she like gives me this look like that she probably saw on some, I don't know, MTV show where she was like, and then just like, that was it. And then as the doors are closing, she turns around, she's like, see you later. And I remember even then knowing, before I was even familiar with this term, I was like, that was fucking cringe as hell. But anyways, I got her phone number, and we kept talking. And then I remember like we were like dating, even though she lived in, I believe it was Ephrata, New York, or I don't know, one of those, maybe it's not Ephrata, I forget how you pronounce it, but she was living in upstate New York, and I was in like Baltimore, Maryland. So like, obviously weren't really dating, but as far as I was concerned, we were solid, and we wouldn't even talk every day. We'd like call each other like twice a week or something like that. And then I remember when MySpace came out, this was like, you know, we were dating for, I don't even know how long, a couple months or something like that. MySpace came out. I found her MySpace. She said she didn't have a MySpace, and she was dating some like BMX kid. And I was just shattered. Shattered as much as like being, even then I was kind of still aware of their situation. I was still pretty aware that like, most of these motions are like very much just like made up in my head. Like, I just like want it to be romantic, so it's probably not that big of a deal. And lo and behold, like a week later, I was over it. But yeah, that was a rough week. And that is the story of the first kiss. And yep.